Whew, here we go, guys. Week 4 of harvest. Morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday. So yesterday was a good and not good day all at the same time. It was good because we got across a lot of acres. We can see the end goal at the smaller of the big feedlots. Hoping to finish by the end of the day today. But at the same time, all 3 choppers have issues. So I thought my seal on that drive finally went out. There was oil everywhere yesterday. Come find out, the hydraulic line rubbed through. Not a big problem. I was going a little before noon, so, you know, good deal. So I still have that leaky seal though. Cameron has a wiring issue on his header, we found out last night. And Colton's screaming about def codes. All that being said, again, if we have a decent day today, we could be done with the big feedlot. No, not the big feedlot. The smaller of the big feedlots. Use them words. Okay. Def and fuel. First, I want to show you guys this. See all that discolored dust right there? That's pigweed pollen from yesterday. Came out of my cab air filter. I was informed we are out of def. That's completely brimful. What the hell? I was gonna make a joke about, I'm betting there's a tote of death around the corner, because I seen a tote of something sitting at the corner of the shop last night, or I guess it'd be yesterday this time whenever I was getting fuel and stuff. And everyone's going, we're out of def, we're out of def. And I was gonna be like, no we're not. But somebody ruined the joke. Best part about showing up late, trucks are already here and waiting instead of you waiting on the trucks. It's kind of nice. So this is why the air filters are so bad. The pigweed paradise, as I call it. So this is organic corn, and if you want to grow organic crops, I really don't give a damn. Do whatever the hell you want. One thing that'll piss me off though is if you lie about conventional crops to make yourself sound better. Now, I said if you want to grow organic, have at it. It is virtually impossible to do it under our irrigation system. This time of year, everybody knows it everywhere. Trees are pollinating, weeds are pollinating. You see seeds and dust everywhere whenever like you mow your lawn and stuff. So, all these pigweeds, that's millions of seeds on every one of their tassels sticking up there. They are in our canal water. You go check your water now, like when it first comes down, you know, when we always go pitch all the weeds in the spring. If you were to go out now, it would literally be a mat of pigweed seed on top of that. You are literally planting weeds every time you irrigate, because those seeds can go through a sprinkler system. They're tiny, tiny, tiny. The filters, all that stuff isn't going to stop it. If you put on manure, you are spreading seed. Unless you compost it and do the whole process where that temperature gets so hot in there, it kills all the seeds. All you're doing is spreading more seed. So in our area, it is virtually impossible to be organic and not have this. It's just a fact of life. I'm sorry. But for us custom harvesters, part of this that sucks, pigweeds pay. It's tonnage, whatever. I don't care. It really sucks because it makes my allergies bad. My chopper is a different color. Whatever. Get the hell over that. Because there's not a herbicide, your only management for weeds is using iron. Like a cultivator or a furrower or a ditcher, whatever you want to call it in your area, that furrows out in between the rows of corn to try and kill the weeds. Well, when you do that, it makes these deep ridges, I don't know if you can see them over there, in between each row. So going across the rows is not an option. These tracks are ginormous. And now we're getting into muddy tracks. So this last bit's going to be interesting. I could see out that window perfectly fine 10 minutes ago. That's how much has built up on this window in 2 loads. We need a stronger breeze. But we've got a little over an hour, and we're done here. Back to conventional. Can he make it? We are finally on that pass we've been waiting for, though. Last one for us. No more of these tracks. Downside is our next field's a flood field, so I'm feeling it's going to be furrowed just as bad. But at least you don't got to go through sprinkler tracks on a flood field, right? Always find the positive. That field went so fast I didn't even have time to turn the camera on. 11:15. Now is the part of the day that really sucks. So we got 2 half circles, and the smaller of the big pits will be completely finished. The one that we had to go clear up west, cut on, and all this and that we've been cutting on for a little over 3 weeks now. Like I said, this is the start of week 4. The other 2 guys are going to go finish that pit. I am getting sent this opposite way to go cut a small pit, so it would appear as though my chopping is done on that pit for the year, which I fully get it. It's the logistics, it sucks, but it is what it is. Sorry, I had trucks trying to get them all organized to make sure they didn't follow me. So yeah, I'm just running up the road here. Got a neighbor, what is there, 30 acres here, plus he's got 10 acres of his own. When we get that done, he'll decide if he wants more or not. But it's feed, so there's a good chance it'll take me the rest of the day to do this. Those guys are going to need a pretty good day, obviously, to cut a full pivot starting at 11:30. But yeah, it doesn't matter. But it's one of those things that just, you've been working at something for a couple of weeks, and now that you're right there at the end, you don't get to finish it. And that drives my OCD absolutely nuts to be like, oh hey, no, by the way, you need to go do this. Those guys will go finish that. And if this was corn, I'd probably feel a whole lot better about it, but I'm going to cut the feed. Hoping this first field is upright and I can just cut it with this head and not need the zern. I'm willing to bet money the next field I'm going to need the zern, because it's usually pretty grassy. We cut it every year. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, if it's all like this, we're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Random side note, Bart just called complaining about the drop visor on our W9. Cameron, when he was cattle trucking, wanted it, and I said, fine, if that keeps you in a truck, let's put the drop visor on. And it's one of those things I always wanted, because most of the time you're driving west into the sun in the evening, so a drop visor would have been really nice whenever I was still running it. So we put one on, Bart gets in it, calls me to yell at me about it. I go, hey, if it bothers you that much, I am more than willing to run that truck. You can come run a chopper for the day. I know how you like running choppers. And he paused, he goes, but you're in feed, right? And I go, yeah. He goes, no, I'll deal with it for the day. I thought that was funny. Now, this is different. Sounds much more violent out here. Now this is handy. Little neighbor scale, but it's the old school. This is how I learned to weigh trucks, was on this scale when I was in high school. You just back up to the pit, kick the PTO in, chain starts moving, silage starts just dumping out the back. Then you let that tractor that you can see back there, or over there, push it up, pack it down, makes it look all pretty. There's what we just dumped, and he's pushing it up, Packing it tight. I suppose I should probably explain. So the reason I'm in a truck, we had an extra guy today available. All 3 choppers at the moment are functional. So Glenn came to run mine for me so I could go to my daughter's volleyball game. She's playing 6th grade volleyball. They got 5 games. This is game 1. So trying to get to the ones we can. I wasn't planning on being able to make it to this one because I was planning on being in there. Gonna need to keep that thing moving. We got to finish this field plus another 10 acres to get this guy's pit done. So I can hear that header tapping. So the hope is to get this guy's pit done. The other guys just finished their first half circle. They got 1 half to go, and they will have the small big pit done. Well, for the first volleyball game ever for those little kids, that went about like I expected. And poor, they were so lost. It can only go up from here though. We won 1 of the 4 games, so I'm gonna hold on to that. We came out hot, and then it was all the dumpster fire from there. Either way, back to chopping. Got to thinking, didn't show you guys how this worked. So every dash on this line is 1,000 pounds, and then this guy is your hundreds and tens. So I'm gonna be probably like 93. Ooh, a lot lighter. And yes, we are permitted up to 96, so I don't want to hear it. We're going into the 80s. '88. You want it to stay in the middle. One more. Bingo. So then you lock that down so it doesn't slam. Grab you a ticket. I didn't think this part through. Set you guys there, don't fall over. So you put it in there, slide it to the gross side because we're fully loaded. And then squeeze the hell out of it. Then there you go, we weigh 88,330. Oh, typical cluster fudge fashion.
Man, let's go way the hell up there and dive in, not around and get that much farther.
And nobody knows what the hell's going on hardly. Sounds like we gotta cut the outside 2 towers here, and they're trying to get, Tuna was trying to get one of the other choppers to come this way when he finished, but we've got no cell service up here, so nobody can call anybody. It's an absolute mess right now trying to figure out what exactly we're supposed to do.
No, hell, this is only a corner. It's bare weeds on the north end. We can go across to the second tower and come through.
Oh, okay. So it's just got a little simpler. He says it's only a quarter circle, not a half. We got to cut the outside 2 towers to get them enough silage, and that'll finish the pit that we're doing. But we potentially have another chopper and more trucks coming. I don't know. We're all really, really confused and can't make a phone call to figure out what exactly we're supposed to do. This is where it's awesome to be on the truck crew. I think it's barely getting to 6 o'clock. My day is done. We'll park this. I could go home. Probably won't. I'm going to do what the truckers normally do. I'm going to go back to the shop, lean against the tailgate, and make fun of the chopper guys while they continue to service. The only daily maintenance you got to do on the truck, obviously, is your morning walk around. Make sure lights, tires, brakes, all that sort of stuff are good. And then blow out your radiator and air filter. And you're good to go for another day. Every couple days, throw some grease at the trailer. Throw some lube at the chains. Proper chain lubrication is important. 1, 2. Should be a third one over there. It's already in the shop. It sounds like it's going to be a rough start tomorrow. Colton is in the shop waiting on parts for exhaust. We're diagnosing he's been getting some codes, thinking exhaust leaks are causing them. Hopefully that fixes that. Cameron, chopper number 3. It is parked in the morning until we hear back from McPherson. The mechanic down there was monitoring it all day on John Deere's Operations Center to try and figure out why we are having so much trouble with that engine overheating. So Bart told him, you do not move that thing until we hear from him, because I'm not touching that engine after you start it and it's 5 billion degrees. So I'm a one-man show to start the day tomorrow. Should be interesting. But for now, catch you guys in the next one.